Send it out. Invite Grace Caesar. Michael Sam, good morning to you too. Yolanda Cordner, good morning. Macon, good morning. 007, a pleasant good morning. Nigel Black, good morning to you. Nice. That's what I'm seeing here for now. So all of you on social media, already a pleasant good morning to you all. Don't forget to like and share. Valerie, good morning. The UK lock. All foreigners lock. Everybody lock. Trinidad lock. Tobago luck. It is what it is. Say a pleasant good morning to all maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers, all transportation that make sure they give us the opportunity in your vehicles. A pleasant good morning to you. Good morning, Joe Williams. They're on Facebook. Reyes, good morning. What's a pleasant good morning to all senior citizens. A pleasant good morning to you. To the physically challenged disabled people, good morning to you. Baby Rampasad, good morning. And my baby, come on, next baby, good morning to you. How we go forget Balmain? Miss Balmain. Miss Grand Cooper. How we go do that?
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
More FM 104.7.
Angela Singh, good morning to you. To all senior citizens, good morning. To the physically challenged disabled people, a pleasant good morning to you. Not forgetting our sister island, Tobago. Tobago, pleasant good morning to you. To all loyal listeners. Before we go there, yeah, listeners, callers, well-wishers, supporters, good morning to you. Good morning to all haters, to all critics, bad mind people. Good morning to you. Hope you say your prayers this morning and ask God not for you to be bad mind against your own self. Learn to love yourself. And the first way in showing that you love yourself and how you'll know you're giving yourself that love in learning to love yourself is when you give up on the P&M. It means you love yourself. Most Balroop, good morning to you. Janelle, good morning to you. Michael Scotland, Aisha, good morning. I hope you all done sending out all the notification, dear all of you. Inviting people, new people. Grace Caesar. Oh boy, good morning. The most important morning is to the people, the patriots, the stakeholders, the Trinbagonians. That's people that put their God, their family first before the race, religion, and politics. What is destroying this country? Bad, 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 bad. Yeah. Good morning, Passad. Hey, Lennox Smith. Oh, what's the headliners there? Pleasant good morning to you, my brother.
Pleasant morning
Sherry
to you
and
as well,
Shepherd,
my
good
friend.
morning.
Are you hearing me loud and
Yeah,
clear?
loud and clear. Sharon Rampasad, good morning to you too. Go ahead, Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. On a Friday, we try to, of course, highlight issues that we may not have captured during the course of the week. In that way, we round off the week with comprehensive information disseminating, of course, from the ground report. And this Friday, no exception. But I want to start at a little different, Andy, because I want to ask you a question which has been, of course, on my mind for some time. And that is one relating, of course, to food, to the school feeding program. I just want to ask you a simple question. If it is that you would be providing funding, maybe to the wife or as the case may be, with respect, of course, for lunches for your child or children in school, and of course one day at the end of the school term, let's say this month and next and maybe next month, that person who you would normally provide the funding for lunches for the children comes and tells you, well, listen, I want this sum of money for the children for lunches between July and September. What would be your response?
Between
September, yes, July and September.
Right, and just give me back an idea again. Or wait.
Yeah, I'm saying that you know that school will be on holidays from July.
Mm-hmm, I know
and the person who is coming, who normally you would give money to fund lunches for the children in school, tells you, listen, I want this sum of money in order to provide lunches to the children between July and September. What would be your natural response?
Between July,
you take up your money and give them?
And
wait,
between July and September.
And September, yes.
Right, but school open or close?
Close, obviously.
And I'm going to pay for food for children who not in school between that time.
Yeah, and September. What would be your response?
Who my money or my food going and feed? It's school closed.
Yeah, because your understanding is what? That school is closed.
Yeah.
In that period. So therefore your natural, as a human being, your natural question, as you rightly said, to anybody with a modicum, or should I say a scintilla of common sense, will then of course ask the question, well, what for? School is closed in that period. That's all?
Yeah.
Well, right. So no, you are on the ball. Well, Dr. Rowley doesn't know that.
How we don't know that?
The opposition leader queries an item in the review for funding requested by the Ministry of Education to pay for the school feeding program between July and September.
But school closed?
But school closed, yes. And Dr. Rowley, in attempting, of course, to somehow, by some kind of epiphany and maybe some kind of what I consider to be cognitive, cerebral, and intellectual decline. In other words, these fellas are what the Latin, they give credence to the Latin expression, non compos mentis. They are of unsound mind. Because here it is, he criticizing the opposition, he Rowley, criticizing the opposition for asking the question, how is this possible to provide lunch, or should I say, for the school feeding program between July? That is what the statement say. That is what the budgetary allocation was for, July to September, and he defending somehow. I don't know how. That is why I am extremely angry these days when you hear these fellas, big men and women who supposed to be university. He's supposed to be a doctor. And if a statement, the statement is clear, July to September, the natural question will be, how come? Because school is on holidays in that period. So there could be no children getting food or lunches or provision of meals during that period. So there's a natural question that you will ask, as you rightly responded to, having not given you a preview as to what I'm going to ask you. That's a natural one. You know, when we turn and say that is July they're paying for? The statement is July to September. He somehow equate that to the payment of and calling other people foolish. I mean, the joke is on them. You could say, well, listen, there might be a typographical error. I could understand that response. There might have been a mistake in terms of the grammar or the sentence. That may not have been the intention, but the statement is categorical, logical, and common sense. That is between July to September. So if the opposition leader says, listen, how come you were asking for money for the food, the lunch and the food feeding program between July and September? What is the acrimony? What is the insensitivity? What is the vexation that they would have probably would have exhibited for answering the question? Because it's a logical, common sense question that would have been asked, and your response has to be that there might have been a typographical error. There might be, of course, students that is expected to be in classes during that period. It could have been all of that. It could have been as well that is a clear and unadulterated misinterpretation, or somebody did not write a proper sentence as far as the justification for that allocation is concerned. Why say that people want to know and they were former prime minister, etc., etc.? No, and that is the level of anger outside of the multiple other reasons to be angry with this administration that one has to contend with on a daily basis. Is a bunch of buffoons we have as purported to be minister, prime minister, and government and governance in this country. It is clear. But I thought it was that was a issue I thought I should bring up, because we didn't touch it during the course of the week, and I thought I should, of course, start with that. There are others, of course, that we will extrapolate during the course of the program. A Venezuelan woman stabbed, wounded in Cunupia. That speaks for itself. The violence continues. Rowley reiterates no decisions about VAT in cabinet. And I raised that issue with you in the form of a question earlier this week, but referring to this particular matter. If it is that you have a document that is speaking about tennis, you can't say it was football you were talking about. And if you got a document dealing with, of course, the children in a particular school and the violence in a particular school, you cannot say that it refers to another school. The document is specific. So here it is. We have a situation where a document was attached to a cabinet note, which the cabinet considered, coming out from the Ministry of Finance, indicating, among other things, several scenarios for revenue collection or revenue loss, as the case may be, because they want us to look at the loss and not revenue. But the fact is that it was a revenue document dealing with revenue, whether it be to increase revenue or to reduce revenue. Yeah, the fact of the matter is that it was a revenue generating, whether it's in several scenarios. The document was intended to, of course, prefer and for the consideration of the cabinet. That is the reality. It wasn't about a football match or cricket or the food feeding program or the Ministry of Education. It was about scenarios dealing with how you will get increased revenue and what are the possible scenarios. And Kamla Prasad Bisesa got wind of the document and told the population that among other revenue or non-revenue considerations is the question of increasing VAT. And for every 1%, according to the document, that you increase the VAT, so from 12 to 13, for example, you're talking about 500,000, I think 500 million you could get, of course, in added revenue. You know, he want us to think, he and Imsworth, that you see the other side, where if they reduce it, they would lose 500 million. You seen that is a document about where you're going to get revenue. Nobody in the right mind will think that you are looking to reduce revenue when we are seeing you're talking about increase in electricity rates, and you're talking about looking at getting the revenue authority operating so that you could get the property tax involved. What I think that is about is downward reduction in revenue.
So true.
I mean, they have to be consummate dunderheads in government. So Kamla Prasad Bisesa alerts the population, you are most annoyed and come with this puerile, asinine, infantile, I mean, totally dotish, and I want to say, frankly, that these men are cognitively and intellectually bankrupt.
Bankrupt, so true.
They can't even make a good excuse. They can't even make a good excuse for a clear statement, as we saw with respect, of course, to why it is that you want to have monies for food or school feeding between July and September is a logical question that anybody who have concern and responsibility for the interests and the funding and the resources, financial and otherwise, of the country, to ask, particularly if you are in opposition and you are not the one who is creating those points of discussion. Let's not waste time with that. And let me tell you something. People, we have to give the UNC 27 seats, to make sure that the likes of Rowley and Day doesn't see the light of day in terms of getting into the office of Prime Minister, because characters like these, they are pernicious and they are toxic and they are the progenitors of weaponizing government against the people, because when one understands all of their iniquities, including, of course, cabinet recusals, the fact that you have a situation where I see the speaker trying to and the president of the Senate trying, of course, to emasculate speakers on the opposition bench when they're talking about, of course, Stuart Young and his brother, and how he become suddenly filthy rich as a consequence of favorable government cabinet of the Rowley administration, of which Stuart Young is a part, financial contracts. Let's not waste time. That's a common sense thing. And no way Rowley and they could dominate the narrative by their nonsense, their nonsensicality, their innuendos, and their circumlocutions.
What's what I'm looking at too? When I watch the Guardian here, the headliners of the Guardian here, and I watch this here, they say Christmas list returns home. But when I go down a little bit, they're saying that Christmas list will be returning home today. Right? Besides that, I also look at the Guardian headlines, and I also see PM laments high cost of crime. What a waste. He said the country is losing lives and resources. Complains government facing legal obstacles in holding persons accountable. Now the man can complain about all of that. I also see the murder toll.
I will only respond to that last part. You just mentioned it with a lampoon, with a caricature, with making them look like fools. Because he who said that crime is not a public health issue. So all right, it's a public health issue. So any pharmacy you see an man pointing a gun at you. In other words, I could logically draw that conclusion. You just go there and get a tablet, ask them for a tablet. But worse yet, you know, a real scenario occurred only recently, I think last week, when a fella went, having gotten shot in Gonzales. He went to the Port General Hospital to get medication, and they come there and kill him. So not even that suggestion of going to a pharmacy works or is a logical, even if you want to nestle it in the stupidity of the suggestion or the idea. Not even that working for them. These fellas are blight. They are cursed. They must get out of office. That is what has happened, really. Let's not waste time. And those of you who, for 30 pieces of silver, will betray your mother to get that, because you are part and parcel of that conspirators group to, of course, mismanage and depress the people. You are going to have to pay the price ultimately. Best you get out now and state your position, because blue lights and silver bracelets will engulf all of you.
Not only that, listen to this. Listen to the lead story. The lead story.
Go ahead, man.
The Prime Minister is saying government wasting too much money on security at a time when the government is reviewing the cost towards social programs such as the chronic disease assistance program ZDAP. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley say the millions of dollars expended on crime fighting could better serve the country elsewhere. You hear that?
These fellas are blind, because that statement there and what you just said is no different to the hospital situation and the fellow going there to seek medical attention and was shot, was killed. It's the same thing, just as a different scenario. That is to say that here it is, CDAP. You have to spend money on that, but you say that it is the crime is a public health scenario, is a public health problem. Then of course one expects that CDAP should help. Now he looking now to reduce the cost or the expenditure, to use a more what I consider be palatable term, the expenditure on CDAP. So in other words, while he was saying that it is a public health problem and he making the nexus between both of them, here it is, he wants to reduce this CDAP, thus of course increasing the ability, if we take the thing logically, reducing, instead of reducing, you now increasing the incidence of death and mayhem as a consequence of crime and criminality in the country. We have to use the illogical logic and nonsensical common sense that is not as common as one would expect in a cabinet of this country. We have to do that and show them up for who they are. They are total buffoons. And of course, with respect to Christmas list, yes, today he's supposed to leave. He's supposed to get it from the registrar of the court, his passport. I think his lawyer will be. But I wanted to get in contact with him. I know his original lawyer. So when he returns, he has to come back in September for the case. And I will communicate with the lawyer to see if we can get an interview with him, even if he's in Canada, so that we hear what is happening. Of course, Rowley was asked the question, and what he says is that these fellas do that for their own aggrandizement. I mean, that is what Rowley said. He doesn't. He does not. Well, in fact, I should say, in this complicated, convoluted way, accepting the fact that they come to places like these because those scenarios exist, and he says that there's a market for it. People want to hear these kind of scenarios, and that's why these fellas visit. This similar to what I spoke of very good analysis and diagnostic presentations. But the fact is that you are responsible for what is happening in the country, and therefore the remedy to prevent these fellas from seeing Trinidad and Tobago as a place to come to, of course, highlight this negative is your responsibility. Go ahead, Andy.
So true, so
What's the
true.
question?
So what we're gonna do is, because we have to take a break, is open the lines. Let's take 1 or 2 calls. What's on your front burner? Today is Friday, please God. But just quick, I just want to touch on this headline. We are saying Gary, Kamala obsessed over Jolene. And then we also seen here in the papers here, PM not concerned over Cummins suing, which is Foster Cummins suing of the government. Right, and the oil spill, latest Tobago oil spill causes war of words in Tobago there. The latest oil spill causing war of words. And a Princeton farmer, I say, let me look for something good. They say a Princeton farmer grows a monster watermelon. Oh, Jesus Christ, if you see the size of that melon. Boy, you're not going melon big so. And the murder count is exactly at 253 people. Well, so
not
far.
Surprising, not surprising. Not surprising.
Yeah, and you know it can have others. So what we're going to do is open the lines quick. We'll have to take a break. Morning, caller.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Mikey and everyone. Just imagine this with this government, what they doing us in this country here. Just imagine Miss Allen Guy, right? She working in the unit, protection unit of the children. You know they removed that woman. That woman doing such a wonderful job. They removed that woman and put her elsewhere. So that is to show you what this government doing up. This government coming underneath the surface and doing breaking and the good things that are taking place in this country. Tell me something, because she probably not under their determined mind. She not on them, so they remove her from the unit, the protection unit to protect the children. Oh God, government, why is it all wicked so? I have to get another name for all you. So that is why to say now, tomorrow is the election, and that election, people might say is not an important election tomorrow, but it is important. That election tomorrow will be determined next year general election. So I'm asking and I'm telling people, all you go out and put on your thumb the ink by the symbol, because watch me now, this country breaking up and it's breaking up so much, and that will be determined next year election, and next year election will be so tough because we're living here with the devil undermining everything. So please, people, take it seriously and go out tomorrow and do what all you have to do. Don't sit down home. Get up and go. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Children, if you don't have anything to give to your father, you know what to do? Hold him, give him a kiss and tell him happy Father's Day, because they are people too. Thank you.
Nice. Oh boy. Thank you very much for your contribution. Two men.
You said that Gary responded to the defense of Kamala of Jolene John.
Wait, go ahead, caller.
Hello.
All right, go ahead and caller. Sorry about that.
Calling from San Fernando, yeah.
Hey, San Fernando. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Since last week I was trying to respond. Last week I made some comments, and somebody responded to me. Right, but I was trying to call back immediately to respond, but after that, like, I couldn't get you.
All right, so and what is the comments you made? What was the comments you made?
It was concerning the coming out with marching on the streets and, you know, making that big protest, calling out all the cultural people and panics and all that kind of thing. But what I want to say is that I responded to the caller because you closed down Tetrachry, Rowley closed down Tetrachry, you dehumanize over 15,000 people, right? You dehumanize them. And then now you're coming back now to dehumanize all the cultural people, all the people in. Look at what that woman just said there just now, that they removed that person who was serving in a position, who was probably doing a very good job. So you're dehumanizing people all the time, and we can't take that. But I want to say something else. Lennox made a comment this morning too about the 30 pieces of silver, right? Now that 30 pieces of silver, you know, that don't last, you know. Because what did Judas do with the 30 pieces of silver after he realized that he betrayed Christ in a very, what I should say, a very vile way, right? You know what he did? He fed back the 30 pieces of silver at these people. You know, so, you know,
and went mad.
And went mad.
Yes.
Understand? So, you know, but the thing is, my thing is, if you look at the whole thing of Trinidad, one of the reasons also why I really wanted this march too is because even in San Fernando here, when you look around at the culture, it's gone right down to almost zero, right? Because what the government of Trinidad, I would think, should have been looking at is to promote the Trinidad and Tobago so that people could be on the map. You're putting Trinidad and Tobago on the map where you have tourists coming into the island. Now, I don't know most of the steel bands people problems, because in all organizations you will have problems. But if I am saying if the steel bands are experiencing problems to manage their affairs, then help them to manage their affairs so that we can be exported, because the pan is that's the national instrument to deal with. That is the national instrument, and if you're treating it in that way, you're taking people and you're throwing them like in a back of a hole somewhere where they can't be seen or nothing, right? And then you're doing nothing for them to export the music of Trinidad. That is your soul. That is the Trinidad's. You know what I want to say is that is Trinidad's heartbeat. And you're throwing that away as though it's nothing. You understand where I'm coming from? So
yeah, we are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm still planning this march, and I want people to come out, because this government appears to not just appear, but they're actually dehumanizing the human spirit. You know, when you dehumanize the human spirit, you know what is happening? You can fall up and die. That's my whole point. And we're falling up in this country and dying, and people not seeing that.
But I want to tell you that more people like you taking initiatives such as that must now engage. They have a responsibility. I see, of course, the chambers are now talking out. We are waiting to see a more, should I say, pointed view of the religious entities in the country. They have not been as vocal and as vociferous as the trade union today. They too took some time to get on board. Now, of course, we have the trade unions and some of the newspapers as well, because I see Rowley and Imbert in particular, he took offense and umbrage that a newspaper was able to carry Kamala Prasad Bisesa's logical position. Of course, even though the document exists, they are trying to tell us that it doesn't exist and that the contents would not have been considered, even though the contents is clear and pellucid. I mean, it is a bunch of buffoons that we have in office. Clearly, Imbert suffering from short man syndrome, and of course, Rowley himself clearly is a victim of not being able to perform in the way he tried to project. In other words, he has a serious syndrome.
Go ahead, Colin.
Inferiority complex. That is what he has. Good morning.
From the south.
Go ahead, South.
This government will do anything to get away from jail. You have to expect that. Anything they're doing. So when you look at what's going on right now in the UNC, and when you look at this Pandey, this Makila Pandey, what the role she playing right now with this Parry, these fellas, when you hear these fellas talk, them power crazy. But it seems to me asking, money passing. You understand? They can't beat Kamala. They could do what they want, they can't beat Kamala. And you see where Kamala beat, he was 6 man who tried to throw she out in the beginning. You remember Ramjack and all these fellas? Jack Warner and the whole pack, right? She defeat them, she make them small. And you see, when she done with Parry and the pack, it gonna be the same thing. Because they can't beat Kamala. All this, he going around and talking a set of rubbish. You understand? All on we area, yeah. And this one, who Kamala put here, this one you call for Naparima, right? He never do nothing for we in this area. You understand? And he wants position right now. The man is of no use. You understand? This man is no use. And them fighting for position. This lady up in Tabaki Day, I thought she was smart, but she's very stupid because she going to end up in the cemetery in the long run, a political cemetery, all of them. So let them remember what I say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, next caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning. This is Ivy from Sandy Grande.
ID from Sandy Grande. Go ahead. IB.
Right.
Your
ID.
Volume.
Right. So we have that same.
You had to turn down that volume or move. You had to move from that box.
All right. Yes.
Right. Right. So we had the same problem up in Sandy Grande here with these people and them they coming on with the mics and all them kind of thing. Now, me, I don't have no problem with them doing that. Right? Same campaign and business. At the end of the day, where them people was and we was struggling, according to the saying, these so-called, I put it this way because these people and them and all, only time when you hear them, especially them in the churches and, the culprits and all that kind of thing, the only time you go hear them is when something happened to them own. And I said that the only time you go hear them. And I said, we need right now that people in Grande and environs need work, and everybody talking about betterment. Come on. When Tanti Kamala was there, we had everything. Everything was put in place for the people at Trinidad and Tobago. What going on now? For 9 years, nothing is going on in Trinidad and Tobago, and people just keep losing the work. Who are losing the work, I had nothing. And I said, struggle, and these buffoons and them, according to Mr. Lennox, coming around the areas now and bawling about this is a better party and this vote for this party and this, it don't make sense. I want to say good morning to all the people on the ground report, by extension, the World Wide Web. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Next caller. Morning caller. Oh boy. Yeah. So again, the lines are open. The numbers to call 229-0251, 229-0251, 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call or a voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. What's this though? What's on your front burner? Today is Friday. We'll not be on until Monday, please God. It is what it is. Morning caller.
Good morning.
Calling from San Fernando. Morning, Andy and Mikey. And Lennox.
Lennox, yes. Go ahead, San Fernando.
Yeah, are we having a dengue outbreak in the country right now? Because the media say in the paper saying 125 persons, but is it really 500?
It's quite possible, having regard to the clandestine nature of this administration, things that would make them look bad. They try to cover it up, and when of course it is exposed, they say it's par for the cause, and they would have exposed it anyway. Is that kind of illogical nonsensicality that we have purporting to be government and governance and ministers and intellectual? That time is a bunch of what I consider incompetent kleptocrats.
Because I see no spraying, no Ministry of Health people,
I not seeing nothing that going on. And I have a family member, like she catch that, but she are going for no test yet. And it's fever and body pain and they're running real severe. You're real weak and mash up like. And I feeling is that because the people, the only way they're going to know, they have 120 something cases if they test them 120 something people. So I guess it is more than that.
Yeah. You're quite right. And having regard to the review of the economy, when of course they said that the majority of that 2 point something billion will go towards recurring expenditure. In other words, money they already spent or owing, and a couple million for what is called PSIP, a public sector investment program, and for of course projects such as that. It means therefore we are on our own as a population, and people must be careful now. If your neighbor's house is burning, please wet your own, meaning that start taking your medicine to prevent and to prevent, of course, getting that disease. It includes, of course, making sure the rainy season is upon us, that mosquitoes is not harbored around your place and your premises, etc. Containers that might contain water or harbor water from rainfall and so on. Please take a look, make a check around your home, because we are on our own. This government clearly cannot be depended upon to save us. We are on our own until, of course, the elections is called inevitable in 2025.
And pertaining to the present crime thing that they're trying to say, well, it's a disease and societal thing. The thing is, if it have no employment, it have no road paving, it have no bridge building, it have no housing thing, where people going to get money from? So obviously they will turn to crime. They want to release the current unemployment statistics to show how many people not really working. This they close down petrol train, you know how hard thing is and stuff.
And they saying that they glorifying IMF report that says it's the first time in 10 years. And when you check back 10 years, 2014, the economy was doing much better than what the IMF is saying. So it's clear that they give the IMF the program and they reiterate, and the IMF reiterated or regurgitated in a document. The thing is, none of them could say that whether or not the IMF spoke to the Auditor General. I'm sure it would have been a different story.
You understand? And pertaining to 1%, the only thing 1% making is government contract. Other than that, if it have no employment, you cannot go into a 1% company and buy no furniture or appliances or hardware item or paint or even vehicle or nothing. So 1% failing into in the business sector, and not just 1% government.
Move from about 7% in 2014 thereabout to about 30-something% now. That's reality.
Yeah, so 1% are really making to say what they're making. The banking sector making because they fees and thing, but other than that, I don't know how much business is making in the country right now.
That's why the business community are now talking out, because it's in their bottom line. You hear the American chamber saying, listen, we can help you with crime, but that's your responsibility. Making them no flat. Don't try to palm off that on us. You are there to deal with that. If you can't, get out.
A large conglomerate to have...
Caller, go ahead. Get to the point. We have other callers to take. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead. You make your contribution. All right, man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And I find whole morning you're trying to stop me from talking, No.
No.
This morning,
No, not taking calls.
All right. Go ahead,
Morning
man.
caller.
Go ahead, man.
We talk 40 minutes already, Morning caller.
Morning, Andy.
You, not
morning.
me.
No. I didn't say nothing this morning, Papa. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, Andy and Lennox. Yeah, good morning. In the beginning, when Rowley won the election 2015, he got 5 years. The people gave him 5 years. He come back in 2020, he did nothing in that 5 years. In 2020, the people give him a second chance. He did nothing. Right now, Rowley pocket full, overflowing. Rowley want to get out of this government. But you see the supporters, that is why he was able to say, the people of Trinidad are stupid. They want to keep him. Rowley want to get away. But he want to get away with a clean face. So people of the PNM party vote Rowley out now. Also just vote Rowley out. The same thing with crime. when crime started to rise, Rowley did nothing. Now he come in and tell you how much it costing. If he had nipped it in the bud, we wouldn't have this problem now. Rowley is doing nothing, people. People, all you want to go, all you're voting out and done, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see how Lennox Smith is a wicked fella to the pit bull. Look here, people attacking me now. He says along to that callers, all see him. Andy, along to that callers, make way for the caller. If that callers are making way, he buffing me. Or he have a feelings.
Just in case,
he said feelings.
You don't know, just in case you don't, they were referring to talking about the headline and the headline issue, and you're butting with your own headlines.
Oh,
that's what they're referring to. So it has nothing to do with the callers. There was no callers there, but that's all right.
But look at that one. Look,
that's good spine.
So could I make way for this next caller, my brother?
Yes, you can.
All right, morning caller.
We give them priority. Go ahead, my friend.
Morning, this is Malcolm X here.
Morning, Malcolm.
And you and Lennox, morning. All you going good. I like how all you going. All you song like how wrestling is have. All you song like a tag team this morning. But
it's like a fighting for you to get a chance, you know. And
no.
He go come in. He go come in.
I try not to call every day because I feeling nice when I hear all these callers from South calling in.
Yeah, new callers.
And
we hear new callers.
Gradually, we getting new callers. But on my phone burner this morning, just imagine the Prime Minister, the head of the National Security, telling the nation last night, don't get horrors with the man we come from Canada. Because them boys and them could bring out the thing. It has certain charge, it has certain thing you could do, certain thing you can't do. But they put it out to the police. Let me tell all you something, Trinidad and Tobago. All of we born and go up here. It's our police living in Maloney, police living in Tabakit, police soldiers living in Araval, all about. But we really don't want to realize these officers and these people in the protective service, they're afraid to even attack the gang and them because when they go to work, they're studying the danger of their family. This is what I had a talk with plenty of them yesterday. Because when them gone, is the children and the wife out to the mercy that's what's going on in this country. So what we only have to do is to get a plan, not to talk stupidness. Move for Gerard Hines, he don't know what's going on. And it's best, if that man could go in the gang from Canada, get he the minister work, get he for Gerard work, but Trinidad and Tobago, I ain't getting tired up with the UNC thing because it's a in-house business. Everything will come to light. But my main interest is if the business sector talking right now, boy, no part of the world have high prices like we have in this country. Anytime the business association, anything raise on them is raise it on we. So don't get tired. Them fellas maintaining a yacht. They had a house in Miami, Florida, now in Panama. Let me tell all you something, Trinidad and Tobago. The same Kentucky we have here, the same Mario's and all of them where you have outside. All you will shop to see, you could get $1 pizza in Panama. You could get a lunch with $20 and still have money to buy a jeans, a top, and an underwear. Remember,
that was 20 US, 20 US or TT?
Right now, well, in them country, dollar for dollar, you can't go with TT. We money in accepting himself in Grenada. We money don't accept
But the average now, like how we know, well, all right, a bird in Trinidad and Tobago going to about, right. So give me average in US, how much you go pay?
Okay.
Or in TT, yeah. Just a conversion now, so people go understand.
Let me tell you something.
How much is spending now?
If you check a jeans pants $3 US and you break it down 7-1, let Lennox analyze it to the $150.
Right, so that's $21 for jeans in Panama. 21 TT. So you're saying
right. Right. Oh, that same jeans in Trinidad is $150, $300, and $200, brother. Check it out.
Go to
At
the
Jersey,
Yeah. Go
at
ahead.
Jersey, with $1, you wouldn't believe 7-1. Check that same Jersey in Trinidad for $100. So when we talking about, listen, I meet people outside there, and you know Andy, Lennox, and Mikey and Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidadians who want to come home telling you the ticket price to come Trinidad too expensive. It's cheaper to go Jamaica and Mexico. So when we look around, capitalism gone mad. And here why I sticking on the 1%. They bring in a party at time they call ONR, where they hoping they would have power, and they put Carl Hudson Phillips as the leader. They get more votes than PNM, but they didn't get a seat because Chambers say not a seat for them. At that time, Trinidadians did make them out. In the 1990 coup, Lennox, if I'm wrong, I want some clarification because I don't want to be misleading my brothers and sisters. It had no insurance for looting in 1990. So them business people burned down the place in order to get money for the fire because the insurance cover for fire. So when they talk about the loss in 1990, it's the same people with financing to stay in power, run this country. Very brother now say truth, you know. It have 6 ministers in this government. We're full in the pocket. And them don't care what happen because they're looking to migrate. If they lost, that they ain't going to make no deal. So here we're going on Trinidad and Tobago. When all you go and vote tomorrow, vote to get rid of the 1%. When all you go and vote next year, let me plan. And black people, Lavanti, Kokorit, all about, send a message to the 1%. Enough is enough. And we black people have the power on the finger. And it's time to say power to the people. All you have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Oh
Thank
boy.
Thank you very much. But Andy, Rowley, tell us why the Exim Bank, the Afri Exim Bank is not yet here in Trinidad, even though they want to come. Remember, there is this talk that they don't want an African bank to be here. Well, you would believe what Rowley said yesterday. He said that the bank want local employees that they have to employ in that bank. They must be exempted from income tax, and that is the reason why the delay. You believe that?
Nah, boy. Something sound funny about that.
Something strange about that, yes? You could come for that. I mean, listen to what I think it is. It is the fact that the ordinary African with those banks, the current banks, and therefore the fear is that the African may well, of course, support the new African bank, and therefore those one percenters that are in the country that dominate the financial sector are afraid of that. It cannot be such a simple exercise. Cannot be.
They deliberately like they keep him back the bank. Go ahead, Brother Clive Nunes.
Yes, good morning. And first of all, the best contribution so far is what we just heard from Malcolm X. Okay? The best contribution. What people, if they listen and what he has said, but one thing, and Lennox, you ought to know that these people are not 1%ers. They are 0.66 and 1/3%. They like when you call them 1%. They are below that. Okay? You'll work it out and you'll see it for yourself. The other point is that the elections for Saturday, if thousands of people participate in that elections, it will be a hope for Trinidad and Tobago. Right? I'll develop more on that some other occasions. But another thing that I want to talk about is the disrespect to the steel band movement that allows themselves to be disrespected. And I'll give you one or two examples. Okay? You look at Neville Jules, who connected to Trinidad All Stars newspaper. Okay? Steel band, sorry. Okay? Right? You know what they did to Neville Jules? They made a corner of George and Duke Street, a corner. There are no streets named Neville Jules Streets. Right? In point of fact, All Stars began on Charlotte Street, opposite Paragon Club. I know about that. I was working in the railway in those days. As an apprentice, I used to go upstairs in the attic and listen to men play pan during the bomb competitions at Green Corner on a Monday night with their fingers, because everybody was hiding what tune they were coming with, right? Playing it with their fingers softly, okay? Right? But the steel band movement, you look at the question of San Fernando, Harris Promenade, they name a corner after the professor. A corner. You understand? There are no streets in Trinidad, in Port of Spain, that call by the name of a steel band and all that kind of thing. Right? They disrespect. So that, look at Trinbago, right? If Beverly know the history of Trinbago, where it got its name from. It got its name from George Goddard. That is who they got that name, Trinbago. George Rich was the first man that tried to link Trinidad and Tobago and call it Trinago. And because he see part of Tobago, right? But George Goddard is the man who say Trinbago. That is the history. And the trade union movement, they are disrespected. Lennox has made a proper point. What is the point? Of where they put desperados. Okay? Because the US Embassy, the Canadian, they are warning people that those are hotspot areas. Okay? So Lennox is correct about that. Okay? So these are just two things that I will touch on. Some other time, if I'm fortunate to get in again, I will talk about many other things. But 1970 had brought the best achievements for the people in this country. 1970 brought the running away, chasing away of Tate and Lyle and became Caroni Limited. 1970 brought Texaco Must Go, which started by George Reeds. And then we had the National Oil Company, right? And after that, you had Petrotrin. And while I say Petrotrin, the traitors to Petrotrin, the people who closed down Petrotrin, who are in government today, they knew they were going to. I want you to take an old dollar and you will see Petrotrin is on that old dollar, okay? And then after they bring the new dollar, they move off Petrotrin, and that was before the closure of Petrotrin. Take an old dollar, right? And you will see Petrotrin there. None of the other money after that have any Petrotrin. So when Rowley was talking about the government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing, he already knew they were going to close Petrotrin. That is the dishonesty. That is the dishonest government that is in this country. And I want people to do the research and you will see what I am talking about. I am now 84 years old. I was 31 years old in 1970. The biggest funeral ever in the history of Trinidad and Tobago was Basil Davis. When the front of the funeral was in Mova Junction, the back of the funeral was under the Laventille flyover. Okay?
Right,
over
but before you
100,000 people.
But before you go,
right?
Brother Clive, before you go, But the unions are also responsible for the closure of petrol stations.
Oh yes, they have failed. I am looking to see what is going to happen on the 19th of June. If thousands of workers do not come out, then that is the failure of the trade union movement. Roger are talking the right things now, right? But he was traitors to the trade union movement. People like James Lambert, people like John Hackshaw, people like Nathaniel Critchlow. They were, the railway section was the most militant, and they allowed the railway to close down. The trade union movement allowed that, right? Critchlow and they allowed that. It was Clive Spencer and them in 70 who went to Eric Williams and tell him, if you don't lock up George Weeks and Granger and Nunez and them, right, then we will join. And that is what but Williams got afraid when he got the report on the Basil Davis, because we were planning to come into Port of Spain on the 21st of April. That could have seen 250,000 people before Whitehall, and telling Williams, get out. Williams put this country on a wrong economic footing because he was a neo-colonial.
Thank you very much, Brother Clive Nunez. Last caller here. Morning caller. Last caller, we go for a break and come back. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox, Mikey, Newbie, and to everybody out there. Well, Andy, I will say we are on the home stretch. Tomorrow is the big day. People only come out, put all their differences aside, stop playing drama queen, and go out there and make sure you all vote for the stars, right? Because it's only the stars that help us get back into office. Because we all know, and I'm going to remind all of you this morning, we all know what the deceitful hands are planning for Mrs. Prasad Bissessar. We don't want that. We are not going to allow that. Let us teach them a lesson that they cannot do a good person that and get away with it, right? And I don't know what is going to be their political status after. I don't know, Andy, how after all this stink up, because it was a nasty campaign. They can say what they want. It was a nasty campaign, because I cannot believe that they were playing so holy and sanctimonious with praying hands and allowing their supporters to put up all these nasty videos and all this kind of thing about the Star Slate, right? I am not going to fall for that. I'm not going to allow that. I am going to teach them a lesson tomorrow with my index finger. You hear? Now, the next thing I want to remind people of, Rodney Charles and them, all of them talk about the UNC not attracting young people and they're not attracting young people. I want to ask a question this morning. Well, it has been asked about Saddam Hussein and Khadijah and the rest of them. But I want to ask this morning, all our counselors, right? Are they senior citizens drawing pension? Because the last time I checked, they were all young people. If the UNC is not attracting young people, where did they get them from? And they are doing a very good job. They are doing a very good job. It's just some people with the maliciousness like to back talk them because they know they figure that they should even come and wash their clothes and think for them. Right? We all know that. But we see where these, all of them are young people. You might have a few maybe in the late 40s or whatever. But the Lions say that the UNC is not attracting young people. It's a big lie, right? Now, a lot of things has been happening, and Andy and Lennox and you all, a lot of things has been going on. But you know, we have to keep our heads high. We have to go out there. We have to vote. We have to put back Mrs. Prasad Bissessar. Keep Mrs. Prasad Bissessar as the political leader, and keep an eye on when the internals for the leadership of the party is coming up, is going to open up. Right? Look and see all the Borats and them who are running out to try to take over. Because if Rushton Parry feel that they're going to leave him there, we're going to see what it is going to take place. People, have a good day And remember, voting starts at 8 until 6. Please, leave all the excuses aside. This is very important. And go out there and vote, right? Andy, thanks a lot for listening to me. Only take care and have a good one.
Thank you so much, Miss Santa Cruz.
Do we have a list as to where the polling stations are?
That's why it is I'm now going to access. But meanwhile, we take the break. If we could get a list, or if somebody could
somewhere there,
send a list.
I will certainly do that. And just to add to Mr. Nunez's archive, of course, there's a street called Despoli Crescent, and whilst of course that part of I know you're talking about the Port of Spain proper, but of course that part of the country, Despoli Crescent on the hill, is considered to be part of the Port of Spain Corporation. So I thought I should just let you know that that particular street is called Despoli Crescent.
Nice.
All right, go ahead, Andy.
We go for the break, Lennox, and come back. Lennox, yeah, real supporters out there. You know. They say Lennox talk. I just writing them, telling them. But he gave me permission to answer the calls and take the callers, and so long as there are no callers, he go talk. But these you have some defenders there. Yes, Andy. You don't want Lennox talk. We want to hear Lennox, Andy. All go hear Lennox. So long as there are no callers, all will hear Lennox. Oh, good.
Yeah, and of course, you forget to tell them, let me just rub it in. You forget to tell them that, and so long as you won't disturb me by, of course, trying to extend my talk. We're going to make people, and when we come back more on this Friday edition of the Grog Report.
With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Mikey and Ari Restaurant. Open for breakfast and lunch. 7 days a week.
6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
67 Western Main Road, St. James. Opposite Standard. Serving local breakfast items like sada, pies, fry and roasted baked. With all your favorite fillings and assorted lunches.
Available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Get pilau as low as $25 or get combination lunches from $25 to $40. Crab and dumpling on Fridays 12 noon to 3 p.m. Soup Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A la carte with burgers, fries, nuggets, gyros, loaded hot dogs. Just about anything you could think about from 6 p.m. Sunday to Sunday. For more information, call 382-9347 to place your order. Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open 7 days a week at St. James.
The big question today, how much will my electricity bill increase? Stop worrying. Act now. Replace your bulbs with energy-efficient LED bulbs now available at Trinity Lighting. When you purchase 4 60-watt LED bulbs for $112.50, you get 2 absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Or purchase 3 100-watt LED bulbs for the same price and get 1 100-watt LED bulb free. Trinity also has the following options. Purchase 2 4-foot LED tube or 1 8-foot or 2 LED colored bulbs for the same price, $112.50. At Trinity, we also stock specialty items and a wide range of electrical supplies for all your household, medical, marine, commercial, and much more. Any hard-to-find bulbs or parts, we can source it locally or internationally. Check us out at 123 Western Main Road in St. James or call 628-8373, WhatsApp 461-8620 or email trinityetc@yahoo.com.
Wendy and Friends present their 8th annual White Affair All-Inclusive Labor Day, Wednesday, 19th June, Shoveler Drive, Edinburgh 500 Jugwanas, Chuck E. Cheese exit from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Get your early bird specials now for $500. General admission, $600. Guest artist, The Baron.
In a party with my baby.
Tony Prescott.
All aboard. Ship ahoy. Yes.
with your DJs, Dr. Hyde, Dr. Ross, DJ Glenn, and Mr. Desmond. For tickets, call Wendy at 727-3049, Joanne 708-0205, Charmaine at 770-3526, Blackie at 765-2736. It's Wendy and Friends annual 8th White Affair all-inclusive fundraiser, Labor Day, Wednesday, 19th June. Don't miss it.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Black is elegance. Black is seductive. Black is sexy.
Hyde and Fauk present Black and Sexy.
Black and sexy. You couldn't get me to circle down. Nigga,
An exclusive party experience.
June 22nd from 10 p.m.
At the Police Mess, Circular Road, St. James.
Black and sexy DJs for the night are
DJ Ramona and DJ Darrell.
Kevin Baker and Beats by Robin.
The massive Dr. Hyde and Rise International. Black and Sexy.
Tickets cost $100. You pay more at the door.
And available at Bobby's Bacurette,
Sammy's Seafood Arima,
No Luna Baruka,
Hunty's Outlet,
Fauk's Barbershop Mova, and at the Police Mess in St. James.
For more information and tickets, call 303-5920
or 748-0085. Black and Sexy.
Black and sexy.
Saturday, 22nd of June at the Police Mess, Long Circular Road, St. James.
Sponsored by Tech Flex, powered by 104.7.
Big body, what's up?
This is the Voice of Labour, Joanne Ogier, Secretary General of the Communication Workers Union. We are calling on all workers and citizens who care about Trinidad and Tobago to join us on Labour Day, this June 19, 2024, as we assemble at 9 a.m. Avoca Junction, Faizabad. Let us send a strong and clear message to this uncaring government and all oppressive companies that we are one voice, one movement, and we demand justice for all. See you all there.
Looking for top quality and affordable hardware supplies? Then look no further than Midland Hardware, number 97 Eastern Main Road, Aruca. We stock a wide range of tools, water tanks, blocks, lumber, steel, and everything you need for your home and business project. Check out our new display of steel windows and assorted designs of metal curtain rods. Midland also stockpiles sand, gravel, topsoil, and more. We have a variety of kitchen faucets, face basins, and toilet sets, bathroom mat sets, all garden tools, hand tools, generators, power washers, and water pumps. Customers can make payments via links, credit card, online payment, and cash on delivery. WhatsApp 327-7761 for free quotations, or give us a call at 646-2144. Open every day, Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. From foundation to finish, it's all at Midland.
For over 100 years, radio has been the most accessible, and to date, it's still the most listened to medium everywhere. More FM 104.7 is programmed so you can hear us everywhere. Never miss a beat. This station and its programming is fit for the listeners everywhere with the most variety in Trinidad and Tobago. You are guaranteed to reach your target market with more FM 104.7. Get more sales, get more clients. Book your ads today by calling us 221-4913.
A lucky homeowner will win a brand new car. Yes! A brand new Mitsubishi Expander Cross. Yes, park in your 4-vehicle parking space. Limited availability. Get in a gear with a DG Home's newest gated community, Daniel Estate. The oasis of Canupia will satisfy your needs for a new lifestyle. Beautifully designed, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, modern interior, sophisticated finishings, with superbly manicured and landscaped green spaces, front and backyard included, starting at $1.65 million. Call now and book a viewing. 691-5659. Beautiful home, beautiful car, beautiful life. Home is DG Homes, Daniel Estate, Cunupia.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Need quality printing at affordable prices? Then look no further. At Graphic Source, we've got you covered. Take your project to the next level for all your designs and printing needs. From t-shirt printing to labels, signs, and banners. Look no further. Business stamps, flyers, tickets, and invites, just to name a few. With 2 convenient locations. Eastern Main Road, St. Augustine, opposite Massey's Doors. And Arima Shopping Center, Broadway Street, Arima. Contact us today. 342-2664, 270-0428 or 360-8917. Graphic Source, your #1 source. You name it, we design it and print it.
Saturday, 20th July. Get ready for the More Music Festival. Concert capital, Queens Park, Savannah. With headline superstars. R&B sensation, Shalamar. Featuring Howard Hewitt, Jeffrey Daniel, and Carolyn Griffey. Reggae dancehall icon, Tanya Stevens. From Barbados, Biggie Irie. The living legend, General Grant, Big Bang Karma. With Robbie B and Nisha B. Plus the All-Stars Band and more. Early bird general tickets available now at only $200. Exclusively at Cache Stores nationwide. Good Times Bar, Sandy Grande. Adderley's Cross Crossing. Scrapes Car Wash, Trin City. Farouk's Barbershop, Movar. Bobby's Bar, Q-Rep. Dust Till Dawn, Point Fortin. And More FM, 177 Tragreed Road, Woodbrook. VIP, $700. And VVIP, all-inclusive, $1,500. Tickets only available at More FM. For more info, call 221-4913 or see social media for details. Keywords More Music Festival.
Yes, and of course, pleasant good morning once again. Of course, you caught me napping there while I was talking to Andy on the phone line. Of course, he will be rejoining us in a while. He's unavoidably delayed at this point in time. Had to do something that was preordained, if you want to call it, or pre-organized. And that being as, of course, we promise that we will assist you in, of course, the information as far as polling stations are concerned. Don't forget, of course, you have 2 slates, fundamentally the star as well as the clasp hands, and those are the symbols that we'll be looking for. Of course, Kamala Prasad Bisesa supporting the star team. Don't forget that. And of course, Amaru the thumb. He is, of course, contesting for one of the positions of deputy political leader. That being as it may, let's go straight, of course, to the polling stations, and I am going to be calling them out with relation to not just their locations, but according to constituencies. So let's go. Northwest regional constituencies, the polling stations. Well, yes, these constituencies are in the Northwest, of course. Diego Martin Northeast, Diego Martin Central, Diego Martin West. Where you go to the Diego Martin North Secondary School. In North Secondary School, that would be your polling station, where, of course, you can cast your vote tomorrow. In the internal elections of the UNC, it's only for members who are so qualified, and usually the criteria is what? Is that you must be a financial one. And your name on the list, of course. That being as, of course, Laventil East, Laventil West, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, Port of Spain South. Well, you go to and St. Anne's East. Yes, you go to the Woodbrook Government Secondary School, the Woodbrook Secondary School. There are 2 polling stations there, and then you have St. Anne's East. You go to Santa Cruz Presbyterian School, There are some 3 stations there in that particular building. So that is for those who are in St. Anne's East. You go to Santa Cruz Presbyterian School. And then, of course, Barataria, San Juan. You go to Don Miguel Hindu School. Don Miguel Hindu School, there are 3 polling stations there. And then you go, those in St. Joseph, the constituency of St. Joseph, you go to the Aranguez Secondary School. Those in St. Joseph, Aranguez Secondary School, there are some 5 polling stations there from the information that we have. And then you have St. Augustine. You go to Tonopuna Hindu School, those in St. Augustine. Tonopuna Hindu School, there are some 6 polling stations there. And then Tonopuna, those who are in Tonopuna, that constituency of Tonopuna, you go to the El Dorado North Hindu School. In Tonopuna, you go to the El Dorado North Hindu School. 3 polling stations are there. So a total in the northwest regional constituencies polling station, there's some 26, and also that should be adequate from the organizers' perspective as to the amount of polling stations that is required conveniently as far as possible in order for you to cast your vote as a UNC qualified voter member. In the Northeast regional constituencies, the polling division or area, well, the constituencies of Aruka, Maloney, you go to the Bonnet Government Primary School, 1 polling station there. Once again, the Aruka, Maloney, in Aruka, Maloney, you go to the Bonnet Government Primary School, 1 polling station there. Dabadi, Omira, in Dabadi, Omira, if you are living in that particular constituency or qualified there, and then of course you go to the Armadillo Drive, La Resource South. So let me repeat that again. For the Dabadi Omira, should I say, persons who want to cast their votes in the internal elections of the UNC, you go to the Armadillo Drive, La Resource South. That is where you're going. Lopino Bonnet West. Let me repeat that. Lopino Bonnet West. You go to the 5 Rivers Secondary School, 1 polling station there. Arima, you go to the Arima Hindu School, 1 polling station there. Once again, Arima Hindu School, 1 polling station there. Then Toko Sangre Grande, the Guayco Presbyterian School, 7 polling stations are there. And then Kumoto Manzanella, in the constituency of Kumoto Manzanella, and then you have there's a Presbyterian school there, the Grovisna Presbyterian School. Then you go there and you cast your vote there. 7 polling stations there. Then in La Joqueta, Talparo, you have the Las Lomas Government Primary School, 3 polling stations. Then Tobago East and Tobago West, you go to the Lambu Multipurpose Facility. Lambu Multipurpose Facility, 1 polling station there. Central Region constituencies, then Caroni Central, you go to the Upper Caripachaima Presbyterian School, 6 polling stations there. That is the Caroni Central. You go to the Upper Caripachaima Presbyterian School, 6 polling stations. Caroni East, you go to the St. Helena Hindu School, 6 polling stations. Caroni East, St. Helena Hindu School, 6 polling stations. Chaguanas East, you go to the Chaguanas North Secondary School, 2 polling stations there. You go, once again, Chaguanas East, you go to the Chaguanas North Secondary School, 2 polling stations. I'm getting a call. Let me just treat with that. I think it might be important. Yes. I'm on air. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Thanks. It appears that Mikey just informed me that I'm reading from the wrong list. I got it on the website of the UNC. So I find that. All right. So let me just check on my WhatsApp and make sure that that I correct myself. Let me just get that there for from Mikey. In the meantime, of course, as I said, Andy will be joining us momentarily, and I have the task of course, finding and treating with this particular matter. Let me make sure that I have it. I have it for Mikey. I will check my WhatsApp now to get the list. All right, okay. So I have it in front of me now. Let me just, wow, how about the name of that now? Fine, good. People, we have to, of course, improvise. We have to be, of course, on the button. So let me just copy this, put it on a Word document, right? Of course, paste it on, and then, of course, get it large enough so I could make sense of it. So let me just expand it a bit here. Bam, bam, bam. All right, I think I have it now. And I could, of course, start all over again. I understand that what I had is not the correct one, so let's go again. Of course, Arima, according to the list that was sent to me now by Mikey. All right, so phase 4 community center. There is Arima. In Arima, phase 4 community center. Thanks very much, Mikey. You see how we work as a team. So I didn't want to. I would have felt it very, very difficult to comprehend why I would have given you inadvertently, of course, some misinformation. It would not have been, of course, deliberate, but you might have acted on it, and next thing you go to the wrong place. So let's go again. In Arima, phase 4 community center, that is where the Arima people will be going to cast their vote. Of course, Aruka, Maloney, you go to the Maloney Regional Complex. The Maloney Regional Complex, you go there. That is for those in Aruka, Maloney. In Barataria, Sawan, you go to the El Socorro North Primary School. Barataria, Sanwan, you go to the El Socorro North Primary School. Caroni Central, you go to the Upper Carapichaima Presbyterian School. So once again, in Carapichaima, you go to the Upper Caroni Central, you go to the Upper Carapichaima Presbyterian School. In Caroni East, you go to the Warrenville Presbyterian School. In Caroni East, Warrenville Presbyterian School. Chaguanas East, you go to the Gillingham Community Center. The Gillingham Community Center for Chaguanas East. Chaguanas West, you go to the Charlieville Presbyterian School. Chaguanas West, you go to the Charlieville Presbyterian School. Couva North, you go to the Waterloo Secondary School. Couva North, you go to the Waterloo Secondary School. Couva South, you go to the Exchange Presbyterian School. Let's go again. Couva South, you go to the Exchange Presbyterian School. Kumuto Manzanilla, you go to the Grosvenor Presbyterian School, the Grosvenor Presbyterian School. Those of you who are electors or voting in Kumuto Manzanilla, Dabadi Omira, you go to phase 4 community center. Phase 4 community center. Those of you who are casting your votes tomorrow in Dabadi Omira, Diego Martin Northeast. Diego Martin Northeast. You go to the Central Diego Martin Community Center. Diego Martin East. You go to the Central Diego Martin Community Center. Diego Martin West. You go to the Central Diego Martin Community Center. For those who are casting their votes in tomorrow's internal elections of the UNC, you go to the Central Diego Martin Community Center. If you are casting your vote or living in Diego Martin West, those in Faizabad, you go to the Superior Road KPA School. Once again, Faizabad, Siparia Road KPA School, Labre. You go to the Roselac Presbyterian School. In Labre, you go to the Roselac Presbyterian School. La Hocata, Talparo, you go to the Brazil ROC Primary School. Those who are casting their votes once again in La Hocata, Talparo, you go to the Brazil ROC Primary School. Laventel East Movant, you go to the SWWTU Hall, SWWTU Hall in Laventel East Movant. In Laventel West, you also go to the SWWTU Hall. That would be, of course, on Rising Road, the Cement and Waterfront Trade Union Hall. That's on Rising Road. For those of you who are in Laventel East Movant and Laventel West, Lupino Bonnet West, you go to the Five Rivers Community Center. Lupino Bonnet West, you go to the Five Rivers Community Center. Mayaro, you go to the Rio Claro Presbyterian School. Those in Mayaro to the Rio Claro Presbyterian School. Moruga Tableland, you go to the Rochad Douglas Presbyterian School. Rochad Douglas Presbyterian School, those who are casting their votes tomorrow in Moruga Tableland. Naparima, you go to the Lingua Presbyterian School. Those who are in Naparima, Lingua Presbyterian School. Oropouche East, you go to Dibe High School. Those who are casting their vote in Oropouche East, Dibe High School. Oropouche West, you have the Penal Presbyterian Primary School, the Penal Presbyterian Primary School. Those of you who are casting your votes in the Oropouche West. Point 14, Cedros AC Primary School. Those who are in Point 14, Cedros AC Primary School. Pointe-a-Pierre, Union Presbyterian School. In Pointe-a-Pierre, Union Presbyterian School. Port-of-Spain North, St. Anne's West. Port-of-Spain North, St. Anne's West. You go to the SWWTU Hall. So that's again with the Laventils. Well, this those of you who are from Port-of-Spain North, St. Anne's West, you go there as well. SWWTU Hall. Those who are supposed to cast their votes from Port-of-Spain South, then you also go to SWWTU Hall. So all of them, all of you will have to vote on Rising Road at the SWWTU Hall. Princess Town, St. Julian Presbyterian School, Princess Town, St. Julian Presbyterian School, and then San Fernando East, you have Naparima College, San Fernando East, Naparima College, and then San Fernando West, you have Naparima College as well. So both San Fernando East and San Fernando West, both constituencies will be casting their votes for the internal elections of the UNC at the Naparima College. Siparia, we have, of course, Clark Rochad Government School, for those who have to cast their votes from Siparia. St. Anne's East, you have Santa Cruz Presbyterian School, for those in St. Anne's East. St. Augustine South Community Center, for those who are casting their votes from St. Augustine. You are to cast your votes between 8 and 6 o'clock, yes, in the evening at the St. Augustine South Community Center. St. Joseph, Aranguez Community Center, those who are registered in the constituency of St. Joseph, you are to cast your vote at the Aranguez Community Center. Tabakit, you are to cast your vote at the Gasparillo Secondary School, Gasparillo Secondary. Those of you who are living or residing or registered in Tabakit. Once again, of course, where you cast your vote at the Gasparillo Secondary School. Tobago East, you do so at the Camby, Mount Pleasant, Dixieland, Pantent. So once again, those in Tobago East who are supposed to be casting your vote in the internal elections of the UNC tomorrow from 8 to 6 p.m. in the evening, Tobago East, then you go to Camby, Pleasant, Dixieland, Pantent. That is where you cast your vote. Tobago West, same place. Camby, Mount Pleasant, Dixieland, Pantent. Toko, Sangre Grande, Guayco Presbyterian Primary School. Toko, Sangre Grande, Guayco Presbyterian Primary School, and then Tonopuna, in Tonopuna, Hillview College. Those of you who are in Tonopuna, Hillview College. Of course, I think that's where they had the last meeting, at least the star team. So those are the polling stations that you are to cast your vote in tomorrow's elections, internal elections of the UNC. That being as it is, of course, we can get back. As I said, Andy will join me in a while. I trust that this information, you would have had your pen or pencil near to you, so you take note. And if you are from these constituencies, I'm sure you would be familiar at any rate with the various schools. And of course, you distinguish what was said or what was announced today from the many other schools that may be in the area and or institutions, because I have to accept the fact that SWWTU Hall is not in the constituencies that I mentioned, but the people from these constituencies must find their way there in order to cast their vote. I think that is probably the only anomaly. There may be others, but that is what I'm familiar with: Laventille East, Movan, Laventille West, and of course the other two, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, and Port of Spain South. You go to SWWTU Hall. The only
so for the three Laventilles is SWTU Hall.
Yeah.
That way, Rice Road.
Including that's on Rice Road. I think
three constituencies will be voting there. Four constituencies will be voting there.
Yeah, Laventille East, Movant.
Yeah.
Laventille West, and Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, and Port of Spain South. But SWWTU is located in Port of Spain South. That is what I know for sure.
Nice. So that is right on Rice Road there.
Yeah, that's right on Rice Road.
Right, a little after the fire station.
Yes, a little after the Rice Road fire station. Yes. So and after, of course, the that complex Hyatt and the other towers B and C on Rice Road. So those are the stations, Andy. And I know that you two are gearing up and ready to go.
Yeah, they go Martin Northeast. They go Martin Northeast. Which part?
Let me see. They go Martin Northeast. Let me see that one. Where is that? They go Martin.
Yeah, Imbud. They go Martin Northeast.
They go Martin Northeast.
Yeah.
You go to Central. They go Martin Community Center.
Central. They go Martin Community Center.
Yeah. So they go Martin Northeast, and it appears also they go Martin Central as well. Yes, and they go Martin West as well. All of them go to the Central De Go Martin Community Center to cast their votes.
Nice. And the Grandi people, which part the Grandi people go in and cast their votes?
Yeah, Grandi, Toko, Sangre Grandi.
Yeah.
They go to the Guayco Presbyterian Primary School.
Nice. So the Valencia people are reach down Guayco.
Yes.
Right.
Even if you geographically, if it's a distance from you, like the Tokonians, if you want to call it that, and then you have to go to the Guayco Presbyterian. There is no other polling station there.
Nice.
My apology if you were taking notes earlier. I had the wrong list. I just got it.
I was listening. I was
downloaded.
listening when
Yes.
Mikey
So,
correct you.
so I have corrected myself, so to speak, and I want to thank Mikey for making that contribution. Otherwise, I might have misled people to go to the wrong station, and that's the next thing to say that the ground report said so, and look what happened.
Right, see, they say you vote a pardon for Parry.
Yeah. All kinds of scenarios might come. All
Miss
kinds
Santa
of,
Cruz go call one time. Lennox,
hidden agenda,
you
Yeah,
is
yeah,
an
hidden
under low
agenda.
profile PNM. How you
hidden
vote a
agenda.
pardon?
And a hidden agenda.
A hidden
And I was,
agenda.
of course, a closet supporter of so whosoever that is. But I could well imagine the kind of tongue lashing I would have gotten.
How are you going to do that?
Thank you very much, Mikey. Thank you very, very, very much. You saved the day there. Yes. But you know, it speaks to the fact that we love to speak the truth, nothing but the truth. And therefore, even when one of us may be misled inadvertently, we didn't do it deliberately, but we have other, members of the team monitoring, and they will, of course, even though Mikey may not come on today, for example.
No, he coming on in the 8 o'clock hour.
But no, I say, even if that is the case, at least he would have called in to make certain that we are on the right track. And I think that is beautiful as far as teamwork is concerned.
So true. Let me take a call then, please.
The PNM and Rowley's government could take a page out of that, but not for evil, because they seem to be very, very tight and very in agreement and conspirators when coming to evil is concerned and wickedness. When, of course, right information, correct information, and doing good for all with the resources that they have. And, of course, making sure that our democracy is preserved. They seem to be persons of the opposite cloth or nature. That is to say, they do things, but always for some, as far on bordering on criminal behavior. Let me put it that way.
So, Lennox people, always see how why there's some patience thing. I hinting long time it have a call. Let's see. So at the certain kind of all right, let me take the call. All right, let me take the call. Go ahead, call.
A little bit.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning to the ground report.
Yes.
Good
Morning
morning
to you, Mr. Tabakit. Have been long.
Oh yeah, I'm from Lennox Smith and Michael Kerr.
What is your clarion call? What is your clarion? I have a clarion call. I want to make a what clarion call you making this morning?
Oh, I thank you. My clarion call is a simple call. I am telling this morning, as a matter of fact, let me say morning to the great political leader, the Honorable Miss Kamala Prasad Visesa and Natex. And let me tell the people this morning, when you go to cast your vote tomorrow in the internal election, look for the star. Why I am supporting the star, anything else is to destabilize the United National Congress. Andy and Lennox, let me repeat, only the star team look for that symbol. And I'll tell you why. We're going to the poll next year, and we cannot have anything to destabilize the United National Congress. One, Andy, you with me?
Yes, we are listening.
Loud and clear, we heard you. Thank you so much, Mr. Tabakit. Oh boy. Because you kind of start a real breakup. Oh boy. Let's take our next call. So, Trinidad and Tobago, the number
He has made
call.
his position clear as to what team to support.
Yeah.
And what he will be supporting.
Go ahead, caller.
Good
morning, gentlemen.
Valencia.
Yes, good morning.
When I hear you, they said Lennox Smith, they're the bright man, you know. You say you had a Pacific hat. How that hat? What was the color of that hat, Lennox Smith?
I like something like a flattened version of a Marvin Gaye.
Oh shucks. This old man there.
A Sagaboy thing. Yeah.
This old man from Valencia. What the hell? Go ahead, Valencia. Go ahead, pin. Where you going? Pimchan. Oh, Lord.
Hello.
Next caller.
Hello.
Then. Go ahead, caller. Pimchan, we lost you.
Hello. Andy, morning, Sean Tobago.
Good morning.
Listen, Andy,
Move from in
you
front of
can
the
imagine from Eric Williams.
But go from in front of the thing. You get enough feedback.
Okay, you can imagine from Eric Williams to 1981. This country was in debt of about $30 billion. And you believe in the space of 9 years. 9 years. Rowley and the government, $45 billion, making it a total of $75 billion. The country bankrupt. Where we going with this? And them still in office.
So between Eric Williams' time, we was owing just at 30 billion till 2010.
Yeah.
And in just in 9 years, you are saying that
9 years time.
It ended up 45 billion. So just Rowley and the government.
45 billion.
Them double that, boy.
This is $75 billion he talking about.
Hey, them double.
The country bankrupt. This place man, them still in office. Them ain't gonna up yet. I go on.
Well said, my friend. Very succinct, but poignant. I mean, I just can't understand. And what we will stand up in our face and say they had prudent management, and then make some nebulous, hackneyed, rhetorical nonsense about the last administration just to cover up their incompetence, impotence, and criminalistic behavior.
Go ahead, caller.
Andy Williams, I think I lost you a bit.
Yes. Go ahead, carry on, caller.
Thank you, Andy. I want to get it in properly. And I want to tell the people why they should vote for the star led by the political leader, Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. If you vote any other slate, you're going to destabilize the United National Congress. We want a team to work with the political leader. And the only team can work with the political leader so we can be in government come 2025 is the star team. So to all my UNC comrades, those who can take part in the internal election come tomorrow Saturday, when you go to the polls at all polling stations, look for the star led by Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, our daily political leader. Andy, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Next caller. Well, let me call your calls. What Prim Chan? What Pan Chan, in fact? Pan Chan. Let me see. With cowboy.
I was so at Colorado yesterday. It's a massive turnout. Massive turnout. Everybody is about to do, and they do it well. But I must remind them, star of wonder, star of light, star of the shining bright. Right? Any man full of the hands, so he on a handcuff. He on a handcuff, I would tell you handcuff him. So all of them who support him, them in jail already. And he's praying, you surrender to somebody who you. Then start higher on the handcuff, boy. All of us say that. And the next thing, they say that Kamala never won election, he lost 3 elections. But PNM have a history of keeping the election. Voting machine, the keep it boxes, the next my EBC, and they had the bad men on them. Bad men paying off for election, they will never come clean. That is what the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago was. No, they will win. They keep drinking out there. All right, enjoy.
Thank you very much. Next take a next call.
Andy, I really had to commend Mikey, boy, because I just watched the thing there. The 2015 document I was reading from on the UNC website, but for the same purpose, internals.
Why you happy you correct yourself, Mikey. Because I was going and say like Paris send you to throw off voters, You get away, boy. You get away.
Yeah, I could get. Nothing could have washed me from looking at this sabotage.
I say like your real intent is a palace coup It's a coup to overthrow the leader.
Support and
Yeah,
shock.
yeah, by sending the people in the wrong place.
Yes. Thanks, Mikey, boy. You say me, boy.
Morning, caller.
I can't stop. It's unlimited. Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox.
Mr. Ramnarine.
Good morning.
Mikey.
How is
Good
Canada?
morning,
How is
Trinidad
Canada?
and
At least.
Canada is good. And
Yeah. Tell me something nice. here. Whether the weather good.
What I want to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago this morning, I am pleading with you all. Please go out in your numbers and cast your vote in favor of the star. The star is what brightens a place. When you look in the skies, you see the stars. You get light. You feel good. The hand will push you down because they are all hypocrites. But the star will brighten your life and bring peace and love in your heart. So please, I'm begging the people. Look, I'm from Canada here. I'm begging the people in Trinidad. Please go out, all members of the UNC, and vote for the star slate. Let the star get back into power there that they can lighten your life. They can bring peace and love in your heart. And without the star, nothing good is going to happen. So please vote for the star tomorrow and let there be peace in the country. Thank you all very much, Andy. And you have a nice day and a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramnarine.
Thank you.
Oh boy, Mikey K. A pleasant good morning to you, my brother. Mikey.
Mikey's there?
I swear I hear Mikey say thank you, All right, like I hearing things, boy. I like that. I feel it's that list you read from me that 2015, but you're correct. Let me go to the lines. Yes, morning caller.
Andy for Grandy.
And Grandy for Andy.
For Andy.
Yes. And we want foreign observers.
And this is why we want the foreign observers from Qatar Foundation for the 2025 general election.
You want that? Yeah.
Andy, Mikey, Uncle Lennox, and UB. Trinidad and Tobago. Uncle Lennox.
Hey.
Last night, I decided to make sure I educate myself across the board. Now, when we're having a discussion, you just don't take lead and talk. You just listen to, if there's 100 people, you try to hear everybody what they have to say.
Yeah.
So what I'm just saying, I listened to Miss Anita Haynes last night, where they had the little Cuban meeting, right? The palace coup, the coup d'etat. And it is I, and I pick up. Everything was, she quoted after she, I. But what, now I will say, what this scholar pick up on she, is that Rushton Parry and these 5 people had sabotaged our party for the last set of general election, local election, and all what is going on, and that's why we in opposition. Because, when I hear what she's saying, that she's talking about, they didn't really put, when they talk about the strategy officers and all of them, I understand. And then after, I hear my political leader, it ended up now when I switch over, to say the same thing I see and hear and understand what them people do in we party to have we in opposition, is that they didn't work for the local election. Because when I sent them out, I was wondering how it is that those roving officers and those in the party who supposed to look after the election didn't know that extra hour, they didn't see what was going on in Malabar, and it's come out today. So you see where they was forming this palace coup from since 2020 general election and more, and people, today the power is in our hand. Only understand what's going on. The membership are talking to the membership of the United National Congress. We have been called upon to make a decision to make sure our life are better. Because Rushton Parry and them fellas and them, it's all indicators showing that Makela Pandey, right, them going to associate with them, and they for their own benefit. And you're seeing in the woodwork, Tobago had this guy, the PNM, we have the power to put back our slate and to support our esteemed political leader who have a track record for delivering and giving each and every citizen of this country a better way of life. Russian paradigm understand now that the other side of the voters and the non-UNCs are gravitating and calling and begging for a political leader to save us and unite. So the teleservice is an easy walk through now to the power, the corridor of power. Saturday morning, we come out and make sure we watch the ballot paper properly. Watch the ballot paper properly. See where is the star, and under the star coming down, make sure the star. Take your time, take a deep breath, and watch your ballot paper. And same thing, X's on the star side. Because with these fellas' intention is to hijack the party for their own personal gains. Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Koff, we had come a long way. And I asked for some support from Mr. Amar that if we could see it in our heart, at least we would have to put out one of our own on the executive to give him a chance. Because Mr. Amar, for the last 9 years, with his financial stability and kindness, he gave us the voice. And all we talk is to defend our country and to support our party, United National Congress. Now it reach home. Other stations see and expose the PNM and show where we country is wrecked. And it reached nowhere now. We have nothing again to the PNM supporters and them. They show them. We, the UNC supporters now, have a choice to see, to take us out of that bondage and come back to first world living, from like how we was living from 2010 to 2015. Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa is a no-nonsense woman. All the men and them who was around she, as you come, Ben, she said, go straight yourself and come back. So we have the strength and the leadership, discipline. And that is why someone want it. So we the people, we the membership is called upon. Don't fail yourself this time. Don't fool yourself because you was misled.
Thank you, my brother. Oh,
right,
boy.
That's right.
Mikey, a pleasant good morning to you.
Morning, my brother. You're getting me loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You're breaking up a slightly just now, but talk again. But I want to thank you one time for that correction that you made of my presentation earlier.
All right. Are you getting me better?
Yes, much better now, my friend. Right?
All right. Yeah, Lennox, thank goodness. And somebody told me that it came over the air, and I said to myself, it's a good thing I didn't cuss. Say, Lennox, we doing the people, boy. What the bleep wrong with you, boy? A good thing I didn't
yeah, boy. I hear this thing over here. I say, well, lucky thing, Mikey, and get vexed.
Yeah. I didn't notice the date. It was at 2015 into the elections list. I was calling out there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it's a old one, Lennox.
That was old. I was hoodwinked by the fact that I get it from the UNC site now. So I say, well, I took it for granted because I did key in 2024. So when I see it, I say, well, all right, then that has to be it. So thanks very much. Words cannot express how thankful I am.
Yes.
Yeah, because Arima was the first to come out and say, let me say morning to Neville, and them fellas waiting in Arima to go and cast their vote, and when they hear that, they say, no, that's not the location. They're not calling places that didn't even survive during the COVID and closed down and go on. They build other things on top of that and calling places. Like, what you doing? I hope the praying hand didn't slide up there. Watch yourself.
Yes. It was a cemetery side, boy.
Yeah, to go back to last night, of course, when the political leader, the Honorable Kamla Prasad, says a call to come out and protect your UNC from PNM operatives. I speak to you here tonight on the eve of two very important elections for UNC. I stand tall and proud of the legacies of all the great UNC warriors who came before me. Tonight, many of our old warriors may no longer be here with us in person, always be with us here in spirit. And previous generations of UNC warriors labor for decades to now have a slate of former PNM members and financiers attempt to take over the UNC. How in the world can persons who admitted that they were former PNM members and former PNM financiers ever be allowed to lead the UNC? Think PNM members would ever elect a former UNC member to lead PNM? We owe it to our parents, grandparents, and the previous generations of UNC warriors who labored for decades to build our great party, to come out and protect our great party from PNM operatives. Every day, some former PNM, current PNM, or supporter of other parties harassing UNC members. And all these outside groups, parties, and PNM operatives have been insulting the UNC membership for years. Now best friends with the other slate. The other slate will replace loyal UNC members with these PNM operatives and outside groups. Let it be known that if they have run an entire Natex campaign based on PNM propaganda, in all my years I have never seen any slate run dirty and abusive campaign. Their campaign was a copy and paste of PNM propaganda. And she spoke about those, she told us those warriors. We right here on the ground report, we ground reporters, we stakeholders know that when we go out there, many of us would say, well, I know Brother Carl would have been here. I know our visually impaired friend from Belmont, he would have been here. Mondays, he for sure would have been here. If he had to leave early in the morning to come up, he would be there. You know Brian Stone, you know him, everybody know him, the white boy. You
so
know
true,
Brian
so
Stone
true.
would have been there. You know we miss Clifton Dikoto. You know we miss these brothers, these patriots, these warriors. You know that, and you know quite well that they would have never stood who are PNM operatives and PNM financiers come and take over great party. So she was correct. Warriors that came rank and file, that in the vineyards, that been in the trenches, and today we must defend UNC from them. And propaganda. How could Kamad Visesa be a hindrance to the development of the young people when you have people like Vandana Mohit, Michelle Benjamin, Saddam Hussein, and the very same Anita Haynes of experience and young people to take us forward? About so you're just come to what? Just dismantle or destabilize the UNC? No, it don't work like that. It could never work like that. It's a very serious internal election, and you have to come out in your numbers and support star power. That's what it's all about. Talk to some people this morning, Andy. Come on, man. We had to talk to what's going on, cottage meetings, what's happening. Last night was a big night. We must continue. We must defend the United National Congress against these individuals. You have to stand strong, and you have to be UNC and proud. You must defend it. You know quite well what you get from Kamala Prasad Visesa. You know quite well anybody else trying to take over is not going to have that love and compassion and that interest for you, the people, for your children and generation. You is about self. The fact that these overinflated egos and these overblown ambition and all the PSC done and the against son they want to come with. Open the lines.
Yes.
Let's get the people out tomorrow, man.
Trinidad and Tobago, the lines are open. The numbers to call 229-0251, 229-0251, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. And when I get a chance, Mikey, we'll just go back over that list. You go back over that list when you get
But
chance.
is it possible we can get a link with Dr. Rudal Mulilal? He's going up for deputy political leader. Can we link with Sister Jillian John this morning? What's happening? What's the feeling on the ground? How do the members feel going into tomorrow's mother of all internal elections, according to the political leader? There should be action today. There should be movement. People preparing the buzz. What's going on? No one should be hungry. No be thirsty. There should be action today. On the outside.
Nice. Morning caller. Morning caller. All the lines are open. There's no other answer. Nice. Morning caller.
A pleasant good morning to the ground report crew. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and where are you calling from?
This is Ann Brown calling from Arima.
All right, Ann Brown. Go ahead, Ann Brown.
Yes, to my political leader, you look fabulous last night. To Deputy Jolene John, thank you for your hard work. To all the people on the line this morning, a pleasant good morning. And I'm just calling again to reiterate for the voting station for La Joquita Talparo is the Brazil RC School. Voting starts at 8, ends at 6 p.m. Please put your X next to all the stars on your voting ballot. UNC and proud. Have a pleasant day, everyone.
All right, Ann Brown. Morning caller.
Morning to the strong team and the Lennox Mikey. Tomorrow is the day. People saying 17 stars, but I saying 16 stars and 1 thumb. I still stick with Mr. Amar. So I go out to that by him tomorrow. I go out. I'm voting over 16 stars and 1 thumb. Locked on and listening to this.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Can we link with this morning, Andy? Who can we link with?
I'm trying to see to put that in place there. Morning caller.
Good morning to all your boys, hard-working boys. I called to tell, this is Granny. I called to tell the people to come out and vote for the star. Kamala is the leader of the opposition party. Kamala is our mother. Kamala is the one who bring back this country. All the boys doing a very good job. And to tell the people not to vote for the other side and not to vote for Rambali. And don't study the Secretary General of the Mahasabha. He's nobody. His father was somebody. He is just like his grandfather. Don't study Pundit and Mahasabha and thing. Forget that, throw that, and don't vote for Rambali. Vote for Kamala. She slate. That is what Granny called people and tell people, educate people something good. Granny telling all of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Morning caller, we're calling from. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Good morning to you, Mikey, Lennox, Andy, and Ruby.
Morning.
Yeah. I will be out here tomorrow. Bellman, I want you outside here tomorrow. I want my good boy outside here tomorrow too. I'll be outside here tomorrow, Miss Santa Cruz and Miss Sanji and Miss Woodbrook. Have a blessed morning, Miss Salah. Okay, tell you and all too. I think you all know who's speaking to you. Right? Andy, I'll see you otherwise. Mikey, you all have a blessed day.
Yes, my brother.
Have a blessed day, you fellas, until tomorrow, please God. We all will meet otherwise. Right? Malcolm X, blessed good morning to you, my brother. Barack Paul, blessed good morning to you, my brother. Enough respect to you all. Have a blessed day.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Of course, I want the electorate to know that Mr. Amar is in the race as well as the deputy political leader. So the only exception on that slate. And we expect that he's going to give a good performance as well, having regard to his commitment, dedication, advice, and we can go on and on. I think his antecedent is so profound and so deep and so committed that I think he ought to be given an opportunity to be a deputy political leader in the race. He has put in his candidacy for that position as deputy political leader, and he too. We will ask you to consider as well as you cast your votes tomorrow.
Thank you. Caller, go ahead. Morning, caller.
Morning to the ground report and all the listeners and all the supporters of the UNC. I'm a UNC and proud. Andy, that praying hand, it is the beginning of Mr. Basdev Pandey. Basdev Pandey died and gone, but he leave his full spirit into Makila Pandey. Them both party is one. And even when Makila bring out the party the other day, that is what she was showing the people, that praying hand. Anyhow, they will get their blows. And the PNM has done nothing for this country. They didn't do road, they didn't do house, they didn't do nothing. And you know what they're doing now? They are finishing the houses that Kamala has built in all the imaginable seats. And it is 2 years now they're doing some houses here. Day and night in enterprise. They go in full swing, rain or sun. And that is the spot that they're telling themselves they will put people in it to vote. Right? And the people they will be putting there to vote, they will be there for free. And when they come and win the election, only they will take back their house from the people. So people only don't make a mistake and vote the PNM because the only person to bring back this country and save this country and put the PNM into prison, it is Kamala Bisesa. No one else could do it.
Thank you very much.
Andy, all you have a blessed day and watch me. We will be successful. May God bless you all and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
And don't forget, people, of course, the raised thumb is that of the symbol of Mr. Amar, who is on the slate as well, vying for deputy political leader. So the raised thumb among the various stars. Well, of course, just put your consent or your endorsement against the raised thumb. That's the only exception, in my view, should be to that total and absolute slate.
Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning again, Andy. Good morning to you, Mikey, Lennox, Newbie, and to everybody out there. It was so nice hearing Anne Brown this morning. You should do it a little more often, Anne. Andy, I just want to throw out a call out here. You know, a lot of people have been calling me and telling me that, they didn't realize that as members have to vote in this next election and asking me how they can go about doing it. Well, I was telling them, but I'll say it publicly this morning. You see, when this election is finished, all you go out there, get forms, get membership forms from the headquarters or wherever, the nearest office or whatever, and do what all you have to do. Join the UNC. Don't let us just be a supporter of the UNC. Let us be a member of the UNC so that come next year when there's NATIX, if there's going to be NATIX for political leader, we, all of us, right, will be able to vote back in that election. Okay, some of you will miss an opportunity, will be missing an opportunity tomorrow, right? Let us have that happening again. Go out there, get the forms, and join the UNC. Show them, right? All who say that because of Kamala Prasad Bisesa, people don't want to join the UNC. Let us show them that we can join the UNC because of Kamala Prasad says so. Go out there, right, and get all the forms. And you know, Andy, before I leave, I just want to say, yesterday electricity went, well, Rowley was going to lie, right? But what I found very strange is that the electricity went, but the mics were on. The lights on the mics were on. What were they really trying? Is it that he didn't want to answer questions that he know reporters was going to ask him because Kamala raised the issue again with the taxes? And that is why they tried that. They didn't fool anybody. But you know what? God must say, look, I fell up here in this man lie. I'm going to do something about it today. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good one.
Well, it was really hilarious because when the lights went, he had on a dark suit and everything went blank.
Yeah.
Everything went blank. You couldn't see anything. Boy, this man saw, boy. This man really saw.
Mommy, why is that teeth in mid-air? Why is that? I've seen some teeth. Yeah, everything went dark.
Yeah, you couldn't see anything at all. Everything looked like a shadow.
All you're seeing is Rowley teeth.
He could smile. He could smile in that situation. Looking to try to come there to hoodwink people, and then that happened. I know it was devastating for him.
No, but when you look at it, when you get to Santa Cruz said they're so correct. Is it that he was trying to, evade some questions as the case may be? Because Trinidad and Tobago, who don't know, is not included among the Caribbean nations analyzed by the World Bank Group. The Global Growth Prospects Report was published, of course, earlier this week. Understand that the 220-page document, the 220-page document, could be a flagship report of the World Bank
Group. Made of it by the government. No mention.
And this analyzes the growth prospects of region around the world, including 14 nations in the Caribbean. Of those nations are Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Suriname.
Martin, Haiti and all was mentioned by Haiti and all was mentioned. Trinidad and mentioned Haiti doing better than Trinidad by.
And there has been no mention of Trinidad and Tobago.
These fellas are so deceptively convoluted that that mentioned there. Another report said the same thing of no growth and negative growth, but yet still, Imbert said suddenly that the IMF is saying growth, and then of course he sent a letter to the court saying that it's pressure for the next 3 years. I mean, these fellas have simply gone mad.
Oh boy.
Also remember, there's no mention of Trinidad and Tobago, right? The country is also excluded from the list that constitute the Latin America and the Caribbean region, which is LAC. Understand that. So the World Bank estimates that the 14 Caribbeans they examined grew by 4.8% in aggregate in 2023. And forecast the countries will grow by 7.1% in 2024 and 5.7% in 2025. So where's the report on Trinidad and Tobago? How are you going to examine our growth?
They're relying on the IMF or the fourth presentation of evaluating let me say members of the IMF. But the fact is that they only took the information what Rowley and them give them.
So true.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is that they didn't submit any kind of documentation to the World Bank,
The IMF, no, they just tell them that and they take that, right? Because
but then the big question is why? Why?
If they had allowed somebody from the bank to talk to the Auditor General, I would have feel more comfortable. But then he and Bert come and convolute, or should I say roll back everything and neutralize it when he sent a affidavit to the court saying that, listen, we are in dire straits. We need the revenue authority in order, and the country is in a financial mess, and it's going to be pressure for the next 3 years.
Wow. Just let me just get this call.
Yeah, so understand what's going on there. Who's on the outside?
Because I want to ask you a question on that same thing you read there. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, Gong Report.
Morning.
My full support, Kamala and Mr. Amar. And I want to say something. When you're dealing with a compulsive, notorious liar, like a leader who's trying to run this country down to nothing, he said, in case you did not hear me, if you're closing a fridge, you're going to close down refinery. You're making a statement that you're going to bring tax again. Kamala talking the truth. She's a qualified opposition to oppose you. This man's lying every moment of his life. He's bringing this country down to nothing. So my full support behind Mr. Amar and Kamala Bissessa. And just remember, dealing with a traitor who's trying to turn this country upside down. Have a good day, Gong Report. Nice seeing program.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Yeah, Mikey. You said we didn't put in, right? So my question is, why they didn't send the financial status of Trinidad and Tobago to these various banks? I can't understand.
Well, the assessment would have to be conducted, and basically it may not have shown that we are expected to have much growth or any at all. Understand what's going on here?
And
nothing was.
And Mikey, there's a larger and more sinister manipulation of the finances of the country in the budget. It is alleged, and I've seen it logically, where they deliberately underestimate the expenditure to wait for the review. Because if they only put it to where it is supposed to be, and they can't match the revenue, what will happen is that S&P and Moody's and them will, of course, further downgrade Trinidad and Tobago, and our credit rating will really be below junk status. So that is the kind of shenanigans that they have in the Ministry of Finance by a man who clearly has a reputation for deception, called Imsbert.
Understand.
Right now, I just quiet. You know where I quiet by? School close. Yeah. And then the new term going and start to go get 2 months home, September now going back to school. So right now, most parents that catching the aunt, uncle, and nenen under this PNM government, but yet still in a general election will still organize to put the PNM back to continue suffering we boy. I watching boy under the UNC. I didn't have my head then used to hurt me so, because let me say God say go forward and multiply, end up with children. And one child with textbooks and all them SLA book, they like $2,000 something. And let me say 2,000, and let me say we have 5 children going to school. Like $10,000. You didn't have to study that, but under the UNC now, you just used to get the stationery, so they encourage, they help poor people. You just had to study the stationaries, the uniform, remember? Parents had to buy the uniform too. They had to buy the shoes for the child too, the book bag, because the old one day, remember them cheap bag it had there now, they busting up quick. Oh God, the ribbons, the oh my God, boy. It's like
talking about. It have pixie dust. See all them things come back. The government ready to give a child bags, sneakers, whatever, ribbons if you want. You're talking about pixie dust season. Right now, This is just a little interim that the success. See, look what's going on. The road company is owed $100 million. So himself, and all this was made because they're trying to keep the budget apparently out of the hands of one of the ministers. But he was demoted. Yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd apparently, Mr. GQ himself, owing each other. And then on top of that, it's a real pixie dust going on. What's going on? The women benefit from 1.5 million in housing subsidies in Maruga. Don't forget the by-election is Monday. Connect the dots. Distributed over 1.5 million in housing subsidies and grants to residents. Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis said support is being directed particularly to female-run households. pixie dust, that distribution took place in
And there's
Maruga.
a token, there's a token, that is a
That's
drop
right.
in the ocean, but they go extract
It's a drop.
political mileage. They will extract every drop with that minuscule, nebulous, insignificant, porous gesture. I mean, they don't know when to stop.
Then I
Andy,
studying.
were you talking about it? A real pixie dust.
All right, well,
tell me
we get this pixie dust too. We want the also you're studying too, right? Here's a poor family. School going open back. All right, you don't have money for babysitter. The salary done minimum wage, it can't do nothing. And you want the early childhood centers to be open early. You're thinking, well, our government will create the employment, especially the Valencia Early Childhood Center and all over the country, where parents could just drop the child early. It that means somebody going and work, have a job early. And then, the
Andy, it will have the babysitting grant. But all of them will go to the PNM constituency office and sign up for the PNM. That's what they're going to get, the babysitting grant. And you might get it in cash. And they even asking certain households, the child have any TV at home? What do we have TV? All right, come back. A big Samsung TV, put that up on side it. That is what's going on. That is the babysitting grant. The child want TV to watch cartoons. The government will give TV. If they need rope to go outside and play skip rope, whatever, you want chalk to go out there and play hopscotch, whatever you want. This is pixie dust season. This is the season for the pixie dust.
But then after that, and the season close, what going on with the babysitting grant and the ribbons and the books and the we're going to go with all them
happy. But Mikey, you're making sense, because a large part of the supplement that was recently approved is for make work programs. A large center, right. 3 months, 6 months work. Of course, that will take you straight, maybe in just about end with the next elections. So it's all about, you're quite right, trying to enforce on the people their non-electability, but trying to make themselves palatable, when in fact they must be hanging their heads in shame and getting out of office, possibly voluntarily.
Because that's how they're going to distribute the summer hampers. Summer hampers, you're children at home, is a set of snacks, all these snacks and so forth, all of that put together. Come and get your summer hamper.
There's
the season for the
get you,
PNM create the PNM are the architects of all of this pixie dust to fool the people. You think they're going to stop now? Their backs are against the wall.
Illusions.
That's right. All these social optical illusions that they create and make it look like it's a benefit to you and your family.
Well, let me ask you something. What dust they're going on, pixie dust they're going on and spread for the people of San Fernando and environs there with the closing of Petrotrin, where that whole fence line community whereby real businesses closed down, everything slow. They damaged South and even the foreign exchange with the people. What pixie dust they're going to try to make them South people who PNM damage over 15 to 18,000 people end up on the breadline. What pixie dust PNM got try where they go in and vote PNM still by? What PNM got tell them?
Ask the people in Lingua.
No, I want to hear Mikey. I really want to hear what pixie dust them got throw that people openly see PNM damage their lives, the home, they catching the tail, they have their good work, they walking taxi, they walk it down till they can't say buy tire, till the car park up because they don't have money to pay for a mechanic or to buy the parts. And yet still you tell me PNM go get them a pixie dust for them to vote PNM in next 2020? What pixie dust is that, boy? Tell me now. Give me an idea now, boy.
Well, it's quite simple. And again, I think you're underestimating the architects of propaganda and the vision. These are people from the genesis of all the division that has taken place and polarized this blessed nation. Stem from the PNM ideology. It is simple. Dr. Rowley or Young, Stuart Young, Small Pin, is going to make some announcement that something to buy the refinery. They have someone to purchase the refinery. However, the people who are buying have laid out certain terms and conditions. Don't believe that there may be enough people to be part of the labor force of this new enterprise. We believe in our people here in Trinidad and Tobago. And when they told us that, I was a bit surprised. And that's what Rowdy go tell you. He said he would be, I was a bit surprised. He would lean back. Hold on, he would lean back with his hands when you know he lying. He said, I'm a bit surprised that they would ask a country like Trinidad and Tobago, who has a history of oil production, if we have the labor force. We've decided is that everyone who was laid off and everyone who is qualified to work in the refinery, whether as a contractor or subcontractor, to start registering now so we could produce to them the names and people who most likely will be hired to work in this new enterprise. Now people start hearing, walk around the corner, they start feeling good, and that will be enough the illusion that the refinery is going to start back and they will be selected to be employed there. And that is what they come in with.
Yeah, but then my big question is, why they start back up Petrotrin itself, and not and why does we look to sell the refinery or look to go into any partnership with anybody with that? When if we start back up our refinery, we could only win with that.
Listen, it's the same old Petrotrin. I found somebody to purchase that, and they sell it as though they are taking all the liabilities off of the hands of the government and the taxpayers. Before they start operations, they want to make sure that they have a capable workforce, a labor force. You'll see people line up, whether it's rain, sun, hail, what, to registering with the belief that they're going to get a walk inside there. They don't care who take over the refinery. They're just concerned that once they start up, they go get back their work or some position in it. That will be enough as far as the PNM is concerned, enough to see that they can get San Fernando West in the bag.
And people go buy all that stupidness, boy.
Boy. And you line up there stuff with your application, your partner who was there working in the workshop, who was in this, but oh God, we going back to work, boy. The PNM keep their word, boy. And it had no work to come. No job to come. Create that optical illusion. That's it.
Wow, boy. And what they will tell, what excuse they will make for all those unnecessary debt through the COVID and their non-management of the whole COVID virus and the forcing of people against their will to take injection, or because your bread and butter depends on it. If you take choke, you could work. If you ain't take a choke, you can't work. Your job on the line. And also encourage the private industry to treat their employees the same way with people today. After the 2-3 years that pass now, people that didn't have certain disease have it. Plenty people just come and dead just so. So what they go tell them when it comes to this man, we call him the COVID man? What we call that man, boy? He's talk. Hey. He's talk a kind of way. What we call him? The health minister.
Dr. Fauci?
No, the health minister.
Oh, you're talking about the LC. Okay.
The licensing, yeah, the licensing.
There's nothing to tell. Yeah, there's nothing to tell, Andy. I think basically what you're asking me is when Sadman UNC gets into power, and I'm trying to understand your narrative here. Again, I don't know if you're underestimating it or just simply not grasping the essence of what we are up against. There'll be nothing to tell. Just as it's convenient not to submit documents to the World Bank, I'm quite certain it'll be quite convenient not to submit any documentation to the World Health Organization. And if you're talking about the repercussions of what was done, it matter to PNM government if they have control over all independent bodies, including the industrial court. So there's nothing to answer for. That's it. That's a non-issue. Once the PNM is there, all those things are non-issues.
Boy.
Yeah, Mikey, one wonderful assessment. Once they are in office, anytime they get out of office, then the rare will be palpitating because they would know where the air will be either rare or thick. Because the bracelets they fear most.
That's right. That's right, and that's what they fear the most, and that is where they're fighting to stay away from.
Yeah,
they're trying to evade. That basically.
They're trying to stay away from jail.
Once they are there,
so
of
they
course,
have to make sure
another
they
5 years. Another 5 years, they will definitely be able to have.
And really, a bunch of cowards, bunch of cowards. They could only rule when they're in office and abuse that, take everything to the edge. I mean, there's a bunch of individuals who believe that because they have the power to do it, they will take the country for a ride and extract from them the worst and exhibit pain, ache, agony, and impose all of that on them. I mean, it is pathetic, it is evil, it is wicked, it is diabolical, and I can't wait to see their backs, frankly.
Well, what I will say is, foreign observers, we will need that if Rowley decide to think. But what I'm sure about is the PNM will have a fight when it comes into Andy for Grandy, if God permits and I get the opportunity to organize and run for that Toko Sandy Grandy seat. Observers or no observers are telling you the people going to come out in their numbers and that seat going and be won. With that seat going and be won.
I think that has happened all over the country.
Yeah,
all over the country. And once that happens, because people were saying that about Tobago, and look what is happening in Tobago. They were saying that in 1986 too.
You feel Rowan and them.
They were saying that in 2010.
You feel Rowan and them are going to look to thief that Grandy seat.
What?
Do you feel them are going to...
Not from the pit bull. But not from the pit bull. You're powerful. You're like black disinfect. Don't study nobody. Is Andy for Grandy and Grandy needs Andy. Who's that? Quick.
Yeah, so the lines are open. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, we're just having our chit-chat, leading up to tomorrow's big internal exercise. But there's a greater issue, that is to say the 2025 elections. And, of course, the despicable performance of this administration. Really and truly, the PNM have morphed into a criminal enterprise, and you can see that on a daily basis unfolding. Just watch at Balize House and just watch the amount of recruitment inside of the cabinet itself.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Arima here. I'm really excited. You guys had me. You have me really excited this morning because here I have actually decided to get involved in the internal elections, and I know where my vote will count. I am not going to put no hand around my face because I know I'll get slapped. However, there are so many subjects and topics that you raised this morning. I have a mouthful, I don't want to say much. But I made a joke with some guys on a gas truck a couple months ago. And I told them, sorry, this wasn't around election time. And I get free gas. You know the fellow told me? He said, listen to my boss. Every rule once a month on a Sunday, they have to go into certain areas in the east and give people free gas. And that is the gimmick. That is the pixie dust you're talking about, Mikey. Sorry, that's the pixie dust you're talking about. Because Trinbagonians are so gullible. They're suffering. They're hungry. The same man that beaten them is the same man they will say, I love him till I'm dead. And that is the culture of the PNM. Remember, I always tell all you, because of my grandmother, I never supported PNM. And she was what you call a Madras Indian. You understand? The way she treated my grandfather, and I still love my grandfather. And I am in my 60s. And because of her, I will never, ever support the PNM. So, I look forward, I look up to the stars, and I'm encouraged in the East-West to do the same, because you can't want to be a member or a supporter of the UNC. You didn't succeed, but then you want to pull down the tree that bear any fruits. Have a good weekend, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, Andy, morning, Mikey.
Morning, morning.
Brother. Give me a shout now, please. All right?
Lennox, you'll give gentlemen a shout, eh?
Yes, morning, yes, I will.
All right.
Right, okay, thanks.
Just to share with the good folks again, don't forget the star team. Star team are, of course, Jillian John, David Lee, Dr. Rudan Munilal vying for deputy political leaders. You have Mr. Dave Tanku vying for party chairman. Jailal vying for vice chairman. Barry Padarat, party organizer. Saddam Hussein, policy and strategy officer. Sean Sobers, research officer. Arnold Ram, election officer. Viliana Ramuta Singh, treasurer. Nicholas Morris, international relations officer. Ravi Ratiram, education officer. Khadija Amin, Vandana Moet, Shanti Budram, Eli Zakor, and Kenwin Phillip. And of course, Khadija Amin for Northeast East Regional Representative. And of course, Vandana Moet for Central Regional Representative. Shanti Budram, South Representative. Eli Zakor, Northwest. And of course, Kenwin Phillip, Bago Regional Representative. So, folks, you have a clear idea. No, you know the names. You know what it's all about. It's all about star power. Of course, when you go back to the
and don't forget, people, of course, an independent candidate vying for the position of deputy political leader, Mr. Amar. The raised thumb is his symbol in this election.
Yes,
Indeed.
yes.
And in this regard, members of the STAR team have decades of experience and expertise to address the collapse of our nation's key sectors in and out of Parliament. And of course, crime fighting, national security, local government, law, public policy. Each member of the STAR team has over 10 years of loyal dedicated to the United National Congress.
Nice. So it's 1 minute too, so let me rack it up there. So they will play the disclaimer on their side. So let's rack up, man. Today is Friday.
Yes, and of course, Mr. Amar's the repetition goes without saying. So all the best tomorrow, people.
Yes, sir. I can simply see that Lennox is the campaign manager for Mr. Amar. So you're in good hands, Robert. Robert, you're in good hands.
You
know what to do. You can't get it better than Lennox Smith, campaign manager. Robert, you're in good hands, my friend. Tomorrow, UNC internal elections. And don't forget the by-election on Monday. Happy to all of the Ground Report stakeholders across the nation. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my team members, Lennox, and of course, Newbie, and all the good folks, and to everyone out there. Folks, have a good one. We are.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information